Fermi Bubbles Pokemon Podcast, Episode 5. This one's more of a mix of spaceflight and trading cards, which are my two passions, or how I expect to make monies. What I'm going to talk about here is launching 6 lightweight cards to the lunar surface. So that means barely even in the plastic soft sleeves, definitely not in hard sleeves, definitely not graded. But basically you can launch your cards aboard a starship because starships have a lot of excess weight, like metric tons that they can take to orbit. And I'm just assuming that if you have video proof of your card floating, literally floating in space in microgravity, proof of your card not touching the regolith of the lunar surface because that would damage the card, but being at a certain place on the moon so you can say like, yeah, my card's lunar, then, or even just like the smallest exposure to stellar radiation, like not enough to whiten it or anything, because obviously that will happen, but just the smallest amount of stellar radiation exposure to show that it's been in space, like Rayquaza flying around, or Deoxys when they have their battle. Like, your card's been there, so say you fly 6 cards, like a Rayquaza, a Deoxys, a Jirachi, a Pikachu, a Bulbasaur, and a Squirtle. Sorry, Charmander, I left you out, but your fire wouldn't work in space. So say you just have proof of launching that, and then you bring it back to the surface. If your Deoxys card was worth $300, it should now be worth like $30,000. It does cost money to get your payload into space, but we're decreasing that every day, and especially, I shouldn't say we, because I've applied to SpaceX 150 times, and they've rejected me 150 times, but especially if it's really lightweight, like 6 Pokemon cards, barely in plastic sleeves, like maybe all in one plastic sleeve or something, is like an ounce. So we can definitely take an ounce to space for cheap. So that's a huge profit margin just waiting to be captured.